live on Patreon all over the world. We are live on this great Monday. I want to talk to my listeners. I'm gonna have to talk to them a little bit tonight about a few matters. But before we go there are quite a few things that we need to talk about, and we are going to be going with you until 11 o'clock. We're going to be going with you until 11 o'clock. Please tap the screen and share the live and let everybody know that we are on, and we are going to be on until 11 o'clock. Now, I hear that the opposition leader is not going to be challenged at the conference coming up in September. That's Golden. Before I got to that, though, there is very good news breaking over the weekend that Jamaica is the most peaceful country in the Caribbean. And that's fantastic news for Jamaicans, both here and in the diaspora. Government Senator Apka Fitzhenry, let me take that down. Government Senator Apka Fitzhenry, he's a state minister, is hailing the latest figures from the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, which show that murders are down by 24%. Jamaica Princess, you hear that? You're coming home? So murders are down by 24% over the period January 1 to July 5 this year, when compared to the corresponding period in 2025. The numbers also show that shootings are down by 27%. Here is Mr. Fitzhenry.
No doubt, even as the 24% reduction in murders this year when compared to a similar phase last year is to be welcomed. It's a good opportunity to encourage all law-abiding Jamaicans to commit to redoubling our support for the security forces as they seek to finish the second half of the year strong. I think now would be a good time as well for criminal elements to understand that crime doesn't pay, and the administration, in partnership with the security forces, will not back down as we continue to pursue measures which have caused a major decline in murders over the past few years.
I think it should be stated that the government of Jamaica, they have paid particular attention to the reduction of crime and making Jamaica a safe society. I see my friend Jamaica Princess saying that she's going to have to come home. Come home, Jamaica Princess. I have some coconut water here waiting for you. Fitzhenry says that the decline in murders is a testament to the hard work of the police commissioner, Dr. Kevin Blake, and the men and women he leads in the JCF. But Mr. Fitzhenry adds that the government has been strategic in making massive, listen to this, massive strategic investments, including broader security and improving the intelligence capabilities of the security forces. That is why murders are down in Jamaica, because the government of Jamaica is investing heavily in the security apparatus of the country. All right, let's not go around that. That is why murders are down in Jamaica. Now, Mr. Fitzhenley goes on to add that
the fact is, this is the fourth consecutive year in which we're seeing a sizable decline in murders during the first half of the year. And make no bones about it, the administration has every intention to ensure that this trend continues. Both the Prime Minister and Dr. Chang have been intentional about doing the research and crafting the right set of policies which set the foundation for these consecutive years of decline. The positive outcomes we are experiencing now reiterate that good policies matter.
That's right. Good policies matter. Now, the opposition spokesman on national security, Mr. Fitzjackson, I played this for you yesterday, but I think it bears repeating. Listen to hypocrite Fitz. Listen to him.
Is desirable and must be pursued, but murder reduction doesn't necessarily lead to a safe society, because in the society that we live, people must feel safe. If murders are down to zero and you're afraid to go through your door and you can't leave your windows and doors open, we have a problem. We don't have a murder.
Now, the absurdity of that, you see, is such that it bears calling out. As a matter of fact, it is highly laughable. What Mr. Fitzjackson is attempting to do there is to undermine the work of the government of Jamaica in bringing down the murder rate. It's a great achievement for the government of Jamaica. My producer has joined. Good afternoon, good evening, producer Caroline. How are you doing?
Good night, Neighbour. I'm doing great. How about you?
Not bad at all. You're back. Oh my God! I almost asked if you were back in Jamaica, but how is the weather there in Florida?
Lots of rain.
Lots of rain. Okay, well, the heat is on in Jamaica. Heat is on.
I can imagine. I'll see how it goes next week when I get there.
Yes. All right. Thank you for staying with us.
You're very late, Neighbour.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to my listeners, because I have to be catching up on some I have to be catching up on some things. But we'll talk about that later, eh?
Of course. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining. Please tap, share, repost, comment, and send the art needs, please. Thank you much, Neighbour.
Yes. The Integrity Commission is saying that they are going to hold a press conference on the annual report. That's the Integrity Commission. They are going to hold a press conference. My God. No, listeners, if you were a journalist and you turned up at the press conference with the Integrity Commission, what are some of the questions that you would want to ask them? Type them in the chat. Let's see if we can get some questions to the Integrity Commission. The Integrity Commission is saying that they're going to be holding a press conference. My goodness. So the Integrity Commission says it will hold a press conference once its latest annual report is tabled in Parliament. And the Speaker of the House is saying that that report is going to be tabled as soon as possible. So then, Integrity Commission, they are to table their report. What else do I have to share with you before we get to the notes? You know, the former UK Home Secretary wants reparations from former colonies. I don't know if you recall Miss Babsy Grange. In her sectorial presentation, she raised the matter of the United Kingdom paying reparations to Jamaica. Well, listen to this.
They extracted much more over the 200 years or so that they were involved in this crime against humanity. We can't equate post-independence investment with the over 200 years of extraction of wealth. And those in the UK now, and I've heard the view that those now should not be paying for the sins of their ancestors. But the thing is that Britain is developed, we remain underdeveloped, and those today still benefit from the infrastructure and the development of the United Kingdom. And that development was at the expense of our African ancestors. They extracted much.
Let me tell you something. This reparations debate is a waste of time. It is going to continue to be with us for a long time, but it's a waste of time. We're never going to get reparations payment. And as a 65-year-old nation, I think that something wrong with us for us to continue to be here talking about reparations. You know, the Prime Minister was correct when he asked whether we are sovereign. What have we done with the opportunities of independence? Yes? What have we done with the opportunities since independence? We're here talking about reparations. It's a nonsense argument. I don't want to spend too much time on that. Anyway, the leader of the opposition, Mr. Mark Golding, who I understand will not face any challenge. My understanding is that Mr. Golding will stand in the next election. That all the rumors about Mr. Golding stepping down are just rumors. I heard from good sources in the party that Golding will not face a challenge at the conference, and that Mr. Mark Jefferson Golding will be the president of the party and will be challenging Dr. Holness at the next election in 2029. My understanding is that the PNP is going to campaign for 4 years. 4 years, because Mark is determined that he wants to be Prime Minister. You know, Chops Media made a comment on this program yesterday that some of the Labour Party people are not passionate. They're not passionate. So am I to understand that Labourites don't want a 4th term? Labourites are getting what? Is it the 3rd term syndrome? What's happening to the Labourites? Why are they not passionate? You know, the Labour Party, you see, in 1980, when the Labour Party won on with Mr. Siaga, the party didn't win in 83, you know. He never won a 2nd term because the PNP did not contest. And the Labour Party stayed in opposition for 18 and a half years. And they are losing their passion. I think if anything, Labourites should be fired up. What is wrong with these Labour Party people? For 18 and a half years, the party was in opposition. and it's Andrew Holness, because Golding won in 2007, and by 2008 he was behind in the polls. And Andrew Holness has given the party this glorious opportunity to remain in government for an extended period of time. And you are telling me that the party is going to drop the ball? Well, you want to tell us what is happening. Anyway, Mr. Golding is going to be the party's standard bearer in the election against Dr. Holness. So, there is going to be a rematch. And my understanding is that it's going to be a rematch of epic proportion, because the PNP is determined, that those who are supporting Mr. Golding are determined that he is to get a shot at government. They want him to be prime minister. Wow. You hear that?
Asking everyone to repost the live, tap the screen, share the live, keep commenting, and send the RBs, please.
That the man who had to be proving his citizenship will be prime minister, and he is going to challenge Mr. Holness in 2030. Fascinating stuff. Mark Golding is pushing back at critics who are calling out the conduct of new opposition parliamentarians. Golding told the Admiraltown Divisional Conference in Kingston on Sunday that he is proud of the PNP's new generation of parliamentarians. Now, if you are following this, and remember what I tell you, that Mr. Golding wants to be prime minister, and there are those in the party who thinks otherwise, but my understanding is that they are in the minority. Listen to Carla B.
The opposition leader remind me of a parent we can't.
That's Carla B is the daughter of Happy Wife. Carla B. Hello, Carla B. Hello. How are you? Oh, she said I'm to play. Go ahead.
Greatest big up Happy Wife, the opposition leader, maximum respect. But let's get into it. The opposition leader remind me of a parent we can't run him yard.
Well, that is Carla B. So the opposition leader remind her of a parent that can't run in yard. Pick them get out of hand.
Him look and see everybody else picnic and for them fault. The opposition leader reminds me of a principal that cannot run his school. Teachers and staff walk over him. Them don't follow not even one rule.
Well, that's the description of a listener, Carla B. And she's saying that the opposition leader can't even run in yard. Now, if the opposition leader can't run in yard, how am I run the country? The opposition leader can't run in yard, how am I running country? Mrs. Dalrymple-Philibert came out in Parliament last week, and Mrs. Philibert upbraided the new breed of parliamentarians. That word, new breed, has been embraced by the parliamentarians on the PNP side and the opposition leader. Listen to Mrs. Dalrymple-Philibert.
And in all the years that I've been here, when I sat as the speaker, I had a lot of disagreements with me. But never has this parliament on either side ever gone into what I have seen. And I make bold to say that this is a new breed of parliamentarians, because never before have we had this type of behavior.
Well, if you thought that Miss Dalrymple-Philibert was not giving us a joke, Miss Dalrymple-Philibert was actually not discussing any policy. And if you thought that Mr. Golding was bad, listen to this. Opposition leader Mark Golding is pushing back at critics who are calling out the conduct of new opposition parliamentarians. Golding told the Admiral Town Divisional Conference in Kingston on Sunday that he's proud of Miss Burchell. Golding is proud of Miss Burchell's conduct. Here is a report from Nationwide.
During Tuesday's sitting of the House of Representatives, MP for South Trelawney, Marisa Dalrymple-Philibert, called out the conduct of some new MPs in the House. Dalrymple-Philibert, a former Speaker of the House, described the conduct of MP for South St. James, the PNP's Nikisha Burchell, as the worst she has seen by a parliamentarian. According to her, Burchell's conduct has brought proceedings in Gordon House to a new low. Burchell has been involved in several recent contentious off-microphone exchanges in Parliament. These include when she told Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness to give his wife a satirical gift he brought for the opposition leader. Golding, in defending his call.
Hold on. Nikisha Burchell told the Prime Minister to give to his wife. That's what she did. And the opposition leader is saying that he's proud of her. Really, Mr. Golding? You are proud of the behavior of Miss Angela Brown Burke when she took up the mace? You are proud that your members are standing up in Parliament against the instructions of the Speaker of the House. You are proud of that, Mr. Golding? You are proud that Miss Nikisha Burchell is in the House, longing out her tongue and massaging a microphone. You are proud of that. You are proud of your members. Mr. Golding, Mr. Golding, Mr. Golding. I thought better of you, sir. I really thought better of you, Mr. Golding. You know, I've been very respectful of the leader of the opposition, because I believe that the leader of the opposition deserves, the office of the leader of the opposition deserve respect. You'd never hear me disrespect Mr. Golding. But Mr. Golding, you have lost all respect, sir. And quite frankly, you should be ashamed of yourself. As the leader of the opposition, Mr. Golding, you should be ashamed of yourself. That's not leadership, sir. That's not leadership. And you know, I'm going to get back to that story. I want you to listen to Miss Dalrymple-Philibert again. Listen to Miss Philibert.
All the years that I've been here, when I sat as the Speaker, I had a lot of disagreements with me. But never has this Parliament on either side ever gone into what I have seen. And I make bold to say that this is a new breed of parliamentarians, because never before have we had this type of behavior. I have been the speaker. I have been opposed. We have had differences, but nobody has behaved in the way members of this new parliament.
Ms. Dalrymple-Philibert was not debating policy. Ms. Dalrymple-Philibert was diagnosing character. You are proud of the character, Mr. Golding? She is not debating policy, because character no have nothing to do with policy. When Ms. Dalrymple-Philibert spoke of new breed, she is diagnosing character. Ms. Dalrymple-Philibert is calling what is happening in the parliament new breed. That's nothing to be embraced. And those of you who went about embracing that word, don't have nothing about don't have no shame. If I were you all, I would go bury my head. You are shameless. You're shameless. Because new breed is not something to be proud of. Because Dalrymple was using it as a warning about disrespect, a warning about indiscipline, a warning about behavior unbecoming of the people's house. And that's what Mr. Golding is proud of. And this week, Mark Golding came out. He didn't correct. He doesn't caution. He backed the new breed and said they are the future of the country. You hear that, Jamaica? Nikisha Burchell is the future of the... That's according to Mark Golding. Nikisha Burchell is Jamaica's future. Get me a visa. Because if Burchell is the future of Jamaica, I don't know what I'm doing down here. And that is why I'm concerned with what I heard Mr. Chop say. That's why I'm concerned. Because with this type of statement coming from the opposition leader, every Labour right should be up in arms, determined that they have to be kept out. You want me to say it? You want me to say it? A fourth term is a must. We cannot afford to give the country to Mr. Golding. We cannot afford it. And you listeners who are joking, I don't want to know no joke, It's not no joke thing. Aristotle said that the character of a state is formed by the character of its citizens. The character of a state is formed by the character of its citizens. But the character of citizens is formed by the character of its leaders. The character of citizens is formed by the character of its leaders. And you ask, why are they behaving the way they are behaving? They are behaving the way they are behaving because their leader is an absolute disgrace. And for young people like Perry, I feel sorry for you that you have such a man leading you. Ms. Dalrymple-Philibert was not diagnosing policy. She was not debating policy. Ms. Dalrymple-Philibert was diagnosing character. You all don't have no character, you comrades. You hit the bottom of the barrel. If this is the acceptable behavior and endorsed by your leader, you all should be. We need a TC and MOU. We need a TC and MOU for all of you comrades. Transition them out of Jamaica. That's what we need to do. Can we get a TC and MOU for you? Move them out of Jamaica, man. Disgraceful. What we are trying to build here is a society where our young people can respect us. And you have the leader of the opposition endorsing misbehavior and disobedience and faithlessness. Shame. Damn shame. Miss Philibert was not diagnosing the debating policy. She's diagnosing character. Character matters, you know, Mr. Perry. Character matters. Because if we don't have character in our highest office, then the country is going to fall apart. Character matters. And it matters for Mr. Golding. This is what we need a protest on. That the alternative prime minister is supporting new breed. Coming like Mr. Patterson, who went up to halfway tree to talk about more man have more gal. Right? More man have more gal. How can you have the head of your country talking about more man have more gal? Huh? A country that are already struggling with fatherlessness. The Prime Minister is talking about more man have more gal. Listen to Mr. Golding.
To any speaker. And I'm going to say very frankly, it brings back to my mind the comment that was made originally before the speaker was chosen. A member of the People's National Party had put out a notice. They did not want the present speaker or myself to be the speaker. I'm not the speaker, but the speaker is the speaker that has been chosen. She is the speaker. She is the Prime Minister's wife. Hold on. And I congratulate your member who spoke this evening. She spoke about behavior and the way we treat our women. I want to say it is not a good look for us to treat a female who is a speaker. And I'm going to go further. I'm going to make very bold because many people have said things and many people have gone wrong. Many people have gone right. But you know, the older members of Parliament, I look and I see the present leader of opposition business, who was also the leader of opposition business when I was a speaker. And you just watch his profile. Never before have we had the type of behavior. And I'm calling it that.
Well, there is Miss Dalrymple. Listen to Mr.
Philibert's moral authority.
Listen to Golding.
Described the conduct of MP for South St. James, the PNP's Nikisha Burchell, as the worst she has seen by a parliamentarian. According to her, Burchell's conduct has brought proceedings in Gordon House to a new low. Burchell has been involved in several recent contentious off-microphone exchanges in Parliament. These include when she told Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness to give his wife a satirical gift he brought for the opposition leader. Golding, in defending his caucus, questioned Dalrymple-Philibert's moral authority to criticize any MP's conduct.
On Tuesday in the House of Representatives, an MP who had to resign in disgrace, having been found to have done certain hanky-panky things by the Integrity Commission, and then they choose to run back and win back again, and is in Parliament again talking about new breed of politician.
Golding told Comrade.
Hold on there, Mr. Golding. Hold on a little bit. Let's be reasonable and fair. Miss Dalrymple-Philibert said that she forgot to add to her statutory declarations a car. She forgot it. And you are talking about Miss Dalrymple-Philibert don't have any moral authority. Miss Dalrymple-Philibert don't have any moral authority, Mr. Golding. No, Mr. Golding. Can you explain this, Mr. Golding? Explain this for us, please.
According to the Contractor General's report, benefited from a sweetheart deal that was irregular.
So you, Mr. Golding, according to the Prime Minister, quoting the Contractor General, benefited from a sweetheart deal that was irregular. You have integrity and you are running for Prime Minister. Oh, Mr. Golding, you should be quiet. You should be quiet. Shh. Shut up your mouth. I tell you something. Shut up your mouth, Mr. Shut up. No, no God here. Which is more egregious? Forgetting a car or this? Mr. Holness, welcome to the program, sir. What do you have to say?
According to the Contractor General's report, benefited from a sweetheart deal that was irregular. You benefited off the backs of the Jamaican people.
Well, let the listeners judge. Out of Miss Dalrymple-Philibert and Mr. Golding, which of them? Which of these two people benefited from taxpayers' money? Did Miss Dalrymple-Philibert benefit from any taxpayers' money? No, for her car. She said she forget it. But you benefited. Mr. Golding, I think you should be quiet, sir. Shh. Shh. Shut up. Don't say nothing. Easy yourself. I tell you the truth, this is a fascinating country. You know, boy, I tell you. Anyway, time is going on. It's 22 minutes to 10 o'clock, and I'm sure that let's go back to Mr. Golding's report.
It's at Admiral Town Divisional Conference in Kingston that he's pleased with the current generation of PMP lawmakers.
Well, I am proud of the new breed.
I am proud of the new breed. That's what Mr. Golding said. I am proud of the new breed. Proud of you proud of them, Mr. Golding? You are proud of these people? No, listeners. You see what is up? Do you see what is happening in Parliament over the last? And Mr. Golding is proud of it. The leader of the opposition is proud of the disrespect that is being meted out to the House Speaker. My God, the leader of the opposition is proud that Angela Brownberg took up the mace. The leader of the opposition is proud of the behavior in the Parliament. Jesus, help Jamaica. Help us, Lord. Jamaica, tap the man. Tap Jamaica, tap. Stop, pause, and realize that we're in trouble. We're in trouble. If we don't stop, we are going to be in trouble. You hear that? The leader of the opposition is proud of the new breed. That's why I'm saying, you want to hear it again? Listen to him.
Oh, No new breed of politician.
Golden told comrades at Admiral Town Divisional Conference in Kingston that he's pleased with the current generation of PNP lawmakers.
Well, I am proud of the new breed, but I'm bringing in the new breed of politicians into the party and into the power in Jamaica. In the Senate, Cleveland Thomas is the youngest senator, and he's one of the bright new senators on the PNP side, showing what we can do. Raman Small person, Alan Bernard, the Rastaman from Mobile, community worker, Kisha Anderson, business executive, all of them are new to the Senate, and I'm proud of what they've been doing so far.
The opposition leader pointed out that none of his new opposition parliamentarians are caught up in legal challenges.
And also represented.
Well, that is the leader of the opposition declaring that no, I don't have no
Make bold
I don't have no problem.
to say
I don't have no
that
problem.
this is an
I don't have no problem with them. I am proud of the new breed, and they're going to continue. No wonder Happy Wife Daughter said this. Happy Wife Daughter, what you say?
That is the greatest. Big up, Happy Wife. Prime Minister Andrew.
Well, not from that's from Happy Wife that I want. It's the other one. Okay. Let's find Happy Wife Daughter.
Prime Minister.
Hold on.
It's the greatest.
Here
Big
is
up,
it.
Happy Wife. The opposition leader. Maximum respect. But let's get into it. The opposition leader remind me of a parent we can't run him yard. Him look and see everybody else pitney and for them fault. The opposition leader reminds me of a principal that cannot run his school. It's a great.
Very good. If Mr. Golden is proud of the new breed, then what a shame. What a shame. You know, Plato warned, you see, that when a society calls indiscipline freedom, hear me carefully, when a society calls indiscipline freedom and disrespect courage, the state doesn't evolve, it decays. You hear what I said to you? The state is in decay when a society calls indiscipline freedom and disrespect courage. Because the new breed Plato feared wasn't innovation, it was erosion. And if we ever allow this new breed to take charge of our country, dog, nyam, we suffer. I'm going to say it again. Dog, nyam, we suffer. My father, dead and gone, used to tell me, say, you know, if pumpkin have a beer, from you see how it a run. You know, if pumpkin have a beer, from you see how it a run. And what we are seeing here is not leadership. When a society calls indiscipline freedom and disrespect courage, there is nothing courageous about what is happening in the parliament. There is nothing courageous about it. It is indiscipline. It's not freedom. It is indiscipline at the very highest level. Disrespect. This new breed is not innovation. It is the erosion of the society. And when a leader endorses indiscipline in the name of the future, that's what Golden is doing. Endorsing indiscipline in the name of the future. He is not building a new breed. That's not what Mr. Golden is doing. He's not building a new breed. He's normalizing new brazenness. It's a normalization of brazenness In other words, go ahead, Nikisha. Put it to them. Chuck it to them. When a leader endorses indiscipline in the name of the future, he's not building a new breed. He's normalizing new brazenness. And a nation that confuses brazenness with boldness will raise leaders who can shout but cannot govern. They can shout but they cannot govern. And mark my word, on this 6th day of July 2026, that if these people get their hands on power in Jamaica, dog nyam we supper. This new breed, I beg you, somebody, line up a space for me, because I would be leaving this place if that ever happened, based on this that I'm hearing tonight. Careless. When a leader endorses indiscipline in the name of the future, he's not building a new breed. He's normalizing new brazenness. And a nation that confuses brazenness for boldness will raise leaders who can shout, but they can't govern, because former Speaker Dalrymple-Philibert's subject was clear: disrespect to the chair, indiscipline in the chamber, behaviour that broke Parliament's rules. That's what Dalrymple-Philibert was talking about. That's what she called new breed. Mr. Golding, are you supporting the future of Jamaica? Are you supporting Jamaica's future, sir? Or are you supporting indiscipline by backing the new breed of parliamentarians? How could you do that? How could you do that, Mr. Golding? As the leader of the opposition, sir, you don't back brazenness and call it boldness. That's not a new breed. We don't need those people in our society. We don't need them in our classrooms. We don't need them in our hospital wards. We don't even need them as taxi drivers. They have no place in the parliament, sir. Are you supporting Jamaica? Are you supporting indiscipline? Would you support a student behaving to his or her principal in that way, sir? Would you do that? If you got a report, Mr. Golding, that your child or children came to school and were disrespectful to the speaker or to their teacher, would you support it? You know, Socrates taught us, that you are known by what you defend. You are known by what you defend. And so Mr. Golding has made himself known by what he's defending here. That's who you are, Mr. Golding? Is that who you are? Is that who you are, Mark? I thought better of you. I really did. You are known by what you defend. If you defend ideas, you're a statesman. If you defend insults, you're enabling decay. If you call disrespect the future, then what future are you actually promising Jamaica? What future are you promising Jamaica if you call the new breed the future? What damn future are we going to have with them? Because they can't respect the speaker. How are they going to respect the people of Jamaica? You know, Mr. Crawford, when he was a state minister in tourism, said he went to the UK to shell down a thing. Shell it down. Obviously, Mr. Crawford was not ready for that. That's a new breed. If you defend ideas, you're a statesman. If you defend insults, you're enabling decay. If you call disrespect the future, then what future are you promising the people of Jamaica? The people of Jamaica need to answer that question tonight. What is your future when your opposition leader, your alternative prime minister, is backing Indiscipline? He supports them. That's the new breed. What you see in the parliament, tell me the truth. Are you proud of it? I'm speaking to you, Jamaicans. Are you proud of what you are seeing in the parliament? And I dare to say, on both sides. Are you proud of it? Is that what you want your country to represent? Is that how you want your leaders to behave? You know, I learned something about parenting. I've grown 2 boys myself. That children live what they learn. Children live what they learn. And I'm going to read for you a statement that my son sent to me on Father's Day. My youngest son, Timothy.
Asking everyone to tap the screen, share the live, repost the
My
artists, please.
My youngest son wrote this and sent to me. He said, "Happy Father's Day, Dad. Thank you for your obedience, support, and love you have shown, not just to me, but to the many that are without. No. I better stop it there because I'm going to get a little emotional. So let me leave it there. But he sent to me a quote that I told him one day that he's to be a man of value. And he says, "You told me that when I was young, and I still remember it." That's my son. Children live what they learn. And our children are learning how to be disrespectful. And the leader of the opposition endorses that and calls it a new breed. So the new Jamaica under Golden is a country of disrespect to law. And now we hear that Jamaica is the most peaceful country in the Caribbean and third in the region. And our opposition leader, rather than upbraiding or disciplining his people, is telling Miss Dalrymple-Philibert that she don't have no whatever to talk to them. You can't chat to it. Dalrymple, you can't chat to it. Let me tell you this. Even a fool can correct you. If you're smart enough, correction, no matter who it come from, is correction. Shame on you, Golden. Because if you call disrespect the future, then what future are you actually promising Jamaica? A new breed should mean new ideas. New breed should mean new ideas, new conduct, new strategies. The Stone Age did not end because we ran out of stones. We found new ways to do things. That's what new breed should, that's what you need to embrace. A new generation of thinkers, of innovators, new solutions, new standards. That's what new breed must be endorsed, not new discipline. A new breed built on old discipline is not evolution. It's regression wearing a loudspeaker. A new breed should mean a new set. We long for that. 300 years of colonialism. 40 odd years of mismanagement. We definitely need a new breed. But we don't need a new breed of old sores. We need a new breed of people that will think us into the future. Here the Prime Minister talking about Jamaica becoming like Singapore. That's what new breed means in a positive way. And you have endorsed the negativity. You cannot build a nation on the foundation of broken rules, Mr. Golden, and call it progress. You cannot call mockery modern and call it leadership. Mockery is not leadership. The future of Jamaica is not determined by who shouts the loudest in the house. The future of Jamaica is going to be determined by who respect the house enough to protect it. Jamaica is watching. And we hear you clearly, Mr. Golden, backing the new breed. We hear you. We hear you, Mr. Golden, backing Miss Burchell. She don't do nothing wrong. We hear you backing Angela Brown-Burke. We hear you backing Dr. Dawes, who is calling for civil unrest in the parliament. Civil unrest in the parliament. Your own leader of opposition business in the House, Philip Paulwell, was nodding, endorsing what Miss Dalrymple-Philibert was saying. And we thought that it was going to be a new day in Jamaica, that finally she had the courage to speak up and that things would change. But lo and behold, what a letdown. I want to ask you, Mr. Golden, are you endorsing the future of Jamaica? Or are you endorsing indiscipline by defending behavior the Speaker herself called a disgrace? Because history, you know, sir, history will not remember what slogans you shouted. History will remember what standards you protected. Let me repeat that. History will not remember what slogans you shouted. History will remember what standards, the standards you protected. $10 o'clock. I'm going to open the lines and hear what the callers have to say. Producer, take me to the callers. Good evening. Who is first up? Hi there, Mr. Dobney.
Hi, Neighbour. Hi, Kurt. How are you guys?
Hi, sir. Hello, Mr. Dobney.
How are you doing, Neighbour? How are you doing?
I'm doing all right, sir. Go ahead. What's on your mind?
Hi, Neighbour. Great. Well, objectively, I just want to piggyback on your very forthright expression on Mark Golding's what you call public acknowledgement of the disrespect that is taking place in Parliament, specifically on his side. And we will not discount the fact that there has been situations of which we are not necessarily proud of within the context of both sides of the House sometimes behaving unseemingly. But there comes a point in time when we all have to acknowledge, indeed the 63 members of Parliament have to acknowledge, en bloc, what type of Parliament they will project to the people of Jamaica, and especially those young people who want a new day for the word politics and politicians. That is what we have to think about in a very pointed way. And as such, when a member of the House stands up in the form of MP from Trelawney, Ms. Dalrymple, and speaks about an action that seemingly taints every one of them in some way, I believe that it is what you call a point in time when the soul searching must take place.
Yes.
And every single one of them on both sides of the house must ask themselves, what type of politician am I?
Yes.
Am I truly representing the people? Am I truly representing the oath of office to which I was sworn to?
Yes.
Am I truly representing my constituents in a statement-like manner?
Yes.
These are the questions that they must ask themselves.
Yes.
And it has to be an unbiased answer, and not an answer that seeks to support a political expedient suasion.
Thank you for that. Let me ask you this, Mr. Dudley. You're a politician. Why is it that politicians, when they get in front of an audience, when they get in front of an audience like this, why do they lose their bearings? Why? Because I am sure that on reflection, this cannot be Mr. Golding's character.
Absolutely. And he knows better.
Yes.
But let us accept one thing that, neighbor. Mr. Golding knows that his days are numbered as opposition leader.
No, but that's not what I'm hearing, because hold on. I got words out of the party today that Golding will not be challenged in September, and that Golding has received sufficient Are you there with me, Mr. Dudley? Yeah.
Yes, neighbor.
Yes, sir. I'm saying to you, sir,
yes,
that words coming out of the party from good source is that Golding has received sufficient endorsement from the members of parliament to stay on as opposition leader and to go forward into the 2029-2030 election. And therefore, I think it has emboldened Mr. Golding to back those who are backing him. Because if you notice Mr. Golding, speaking of these new breed, they are supporting him. All of them are supporting him. My understanding is that Crawford has not crossed 5 of the members of parliament supporting him. So Mr. Golding obviously feels that he needs to say something to appease them. But I'm asking you, sir, and you are a politician yourself, why on God's earth, when you stand up in front of an audience in the color representing your party, do you lose reason?
Experience in neighbor. I do believe that they feel that they must represent the voice, the popular voice, even if it represents sordid, call it. They feel emboldened to accept and acknowledge. Because this thing of politics, sometimes it's about popularity and not what you would want to call process in actually living your mandate as it relates to the defined definition of a politician is and what you must reflect in representing your people. So I think they do lose it. But there is also another matter to consider. I still do believe that Mark Golding found a place for many of them who do not necessarily understand the art of representation or parliamentary procedures. And I don't think there has been any briefing to give them what you call some level of understanding of how they behave. They believe that the sort of a crass political behavior that they project on the political platform is something that carries over to Parliament. When Parliament is governed by standing orders, it's governed by a gentleman-like behavior. It's governed by representing and reflecting your constituents in the eyes of the constituents, one, in the eyes of the general public from a Jamaican perspective, and it also represents how the international space sees our parliament. And I do believe that they do not understand this reality. They think that when they look at each other and reflect what each other has decided, this is going to be our position when we get into Parliament, because we must disrupt the orderly, in other words, they must disrupt the orderly flow of things in Parliament. And that is what they have decided to do. So guess what, neighbor? No one of them can arbitrarily decide that's not what they're going to follow. Yes, some of them, based on professional ethics, reasoning, critical analysis, or assessment of what is happening, decides that they are not going to embrace that public show of, I would want to call it that public show of misunderstanding of how to behave. I think they have missed that. But when the leader endorses it, you now know that it will not stop anytime soon.
Yes.
Because they feel that they are doing something right. But never, I think they do come together in a room and decide that this is how they are going to operate. They are going to create chaos and mayhem in there so that they can slow the pace of the laws taking effect, because that's where it happens, and think that it will carry. But what I do think is the government side is really looking on, while it is shifting the focus to some extent. I do believe that the government is taking the initiative to pass the laws over their head. And so when the laws are passed, they will cry and say, why they were not consulted, they were not this. But they were busy doing things that are counterproductive to understanding what is happening and how they can effectively and objectively debate these things that are happening inside of Parliament.
Hold on a bit for me, Mr. Dobney. Hold on a bit there. Let me go over to St. Elizabeth, where I find Gustav. Gustav, how are you doing?
Doing all right, Neighbour. Good night to you.
Yeah. Gustav, what's your comment on this endorsement of the new breed of indiscipline by the leader of the opposition? A new breed should mean new ideas. New breed should mean new solutions, new standard. But new breed of indiscipline, sir, is Mr. Golding, is this the future Mr. Golding is promising to the people of Jamaica?
Well, it is obvious now, Neighbour, that is the future that the PMP now under Mark Golding is promising Jamaica. And also, it's a reality that these new crop of MPs, but especially the PMP MPs, are probably only the PMP MPs, have sided with the agenda of Mark Golding to be very politically mischievous, right? And it's a big smoke screen to take away from responsibility and accountability, because while these MPs masquerade in Parliament quote unquote, on the behalf of constituents or Jamaicans. The real life story is the people in their constituencies are just being taken for fools. And what happened? These people turn around to be a fan base for the antics you see happening in Parliament. So what they do, they blindfold the people and then go back to them in the constituency, paint the government as this devious and the Prime Minister as this devious person, and then go in a Parliament, go polish it off as if them are lobby on the people's behalf. So these people find themselves gullible to them type of tactics from the PNP over the years. And the only unfortunate say, boy, in a 2026, we think that more people are smarter and see through the political tactics, but I don't know if it's a Neighbour, it only get worse.
Okay.
Get worse.
Harry, what's your take on it?
Good night, everybody. Good night, Neighbour. You know, to be honest, Neighbour, I think the current new breed, as you put it, they are a new breed of lack of ideology, Neighbour, right? And what they are a new breed of is performative politics that is being introduced to the people of Jamaica with a short lifespan. Now, that is damaging to a nation and its democracy, and of course the social fabric of our society.
Yeah.
That is something in which the People's National Party has identified as a strategy to try and reclaim political power, to try and rule Jamaica again. Because the truth is, if we're being fair and truthful, Neighbour, Jamaicans love the hype, love the noise, love the full of action. But the thing about it, people need to understand is that speed without direction means nothing. You will be there doing a lot of nothing. So all of this action and you know, visibility, it is not being put forward to get anything of meaning done for the people who have put them there. And I think it is damning, and it's something we'll have to also call the opposition leader, because based on numbers in terms of who have, you know, exercised this performative type of politics, sadly has been falling over on the opposition side, which has seen, Neighbour, that we've fallen at deficit in proper ideas going forward. We've not gotten, since September 3rd, 2025, any proper alternative solution to any issues facing the Jamaican people.
Okay, all right. Hold on there for me. Mr. Chops Media, good night.
I greet you well, sir. How you
Yeah, I must tell you, Chops Media, that I was surprised to hear Holding's endorsement of the new breed. I'd love to discuss the political strategy of that with you, Chops Media. The PNP is known to have good political strategies and their ears are on the ground. Is it that the people of Jamaica is backing this new breed of parliamentarians and how they are going about their jobs in the parliament? Is that what Golden is picking up on the ground, why he would go there and take this risk?
Classic. Thank you for the question, Neighbour. And greetings again to everybody else on the platform. I see Harry is here, and I see this is Steve and Caroline. Look, the PNP is doing what the PNP does best: spin a narrative, spin a situation, and create a narrative. If you notice, the first thing that took place after the incident in Parliament was Nikisha Burchell would have gone up to her constituency and did a video that really connects her to that constituency. And not only did she connect herself to the constituency, she connected herself to one of Jamaica's national heroes, Sam Sharp. And she likened the behavior in Parliament to that of Sam Sharp. What she did in her video was to say to the average voter that what I did in Parliament was not to embarrass anybody. It was not embarrassing. It was me doing what our national heroes did for us to be here.
Yes.
Stand up and fight for your rights and fight on your behalf. So what she did was double down and claim and take it on as a positive. And she packaged it so nicely with our national hero. And any Jamaican who don't have an eye for propaganda or an eye for somebody deliberately twisting an argument to create a narrative.
So the victim, she became the victim, a victim now of the situation. So she's eliciting pity. So you are so I'm asking you, Golding was not cautious, and I would suspect that a political leader would be cautious, because I felt that the society was responding positively to Dalrymple-Philibert and suggesting that the parliamentarians ought to behave better. But Golding is choosing to back that, and I'm asking you: do you think that they have spinned this so well that the Jamaican people are now appreciating them and their behavior?
Well, I wouldn't broaden it to the Jamaican people on a wholesale basis, but certainly to the base that the PNP appeals to.
Yes.
They would buy it hook, line, and sinker. But I would not say that this is something that is going to be sold to the wider Jamaica, because the truth is, what the mood that the PNP is in now is to distribute as much raw meat to its base as possible, to keep the base of the PNP active. That's all they need to do now, because for them to appeal to the undecided or to convert any JLP support to them, now is not the time for that. What they are doing now, and they're doing a pretty good job at it, is to keep their base motivated. And all their base wants to hear is the negative about the government, the negative about the economy, the negative about Jamaica. And they are dishing that out every single day to their political base.
Now, what does it say to you, chaps, about the type of leader or leadership that Golding would provide to Jamaica if Golding cannot, as a leader now, come out and say, no, guys, this behavior is not acceptable, rather than to say to them, full speed ahead? Because is this not what Golding is saying, that he's not building a new breed, he's normalizing the brazenness that we are seeing? What does it say about his own style of leadership and what the future holds for Jamaica should Golding take the reign?
Well, certainly, as I said to you before, he is sticking and staying true to his strategy, which is to keep the base active. He believes that the base for the PNP is bigger than the base for the JLP. I disagree. He believes that if he keeps the base active up until a certain time while the political climate heightens and there is a general election looming, then he will start to pivot more a middle of the road, undecided at that point. But at this point now, he's going to stay at the stage just now full speed ahead, because bear in mind that coming out of the last two elections that the PNP contested, the local government election in 2024, followed by the general election in 2025, those two elections, the PNP would have concocted a narrative to say to their voters that we won those two elections. We won the local government election because we picked up a few major municipal corporations, though the count remains ahead for the Jamaica Labour Party. They have set their perimeters and the line for victory, not at who
wins the election overall or who has the most municipal cooperation. They have set the bar at who is capable of winning, for example, the municipal cooperation that has control over the city, the capital of the country. And that is a win for them. They again went into the general election and they would have set a new bar to say that victory for us means picking up 14 additional seats that really and truly was our seat originally. But we picked up those seats and that is used to measure victory for them. So when you put those two things together and you look at what they're doing now, you recognize that it's an opposition that smells blood and they are hungry for power. They are 10 times more hungry for power than the Jamaica Labour Party. The government. But they are 10 times more hungry for power than the ruling Jamaica Labour Party at this time.
Parliament resumes tomorrow, Chops Media. We may have the tabling of the Integrity Commission's report. Golding riled up his members of Parliament over the weekend and he says to them, I don't have a problem with your behaviour. Go right ahead with the indiscipline in a sense. How do you think the government should respond to this?
The government ought to be brave enough and ought to reflect on the sentiments coming from the wider population in Jamaica. I think the majority of well-thinking Jamaicans are at a point where they are not comfortable with the Integrity Commission, and therefore, once they I heard you mention them wanted to call a press conference.
Yes.
After the tabling.
Well, yes, that's what they said.
I would be the happiest Jamaican to see that happen. And I would do anything at all, neighbor. Whether it is through the online platform or to visit upon that press conference in person. I would love to be so accredited to be given an opportunity to field a few questions to the Integrity Commission.
Yes.
Because this would have been the first time that they are making themselves available for questioning. The last time they showed up in Parliament in the most unceremonious way and disrespectful way, it was nothing for us to be proud of. But this is the only time that I would do anything at all to get a chance, neighbor, to ask some very pertinent questions of the Integrity Commission. And I'm hoping that they'll be able to answer. So I'm anticipating that the government might be able to lay on the table that annual report, and then I would look forward to that press conference. I don't know how you feel about it, neighbor, but I'd love to be in that room and to be given an opportunity to ask a few questions.
Myself. Let's see if we can give Mr. Dobney. Dobney?
Yes.
Yeah, man. Go ahead, sir.
Right here. Yes. Well, logically speaking, Chops represented the pathway and the thinking of the People's National Party as it relates to what they think will work for them. But let us understand that we are almost 4 years from another general election. And as I've always suggested, the 4 years is a pathway for the Jamaica Labour Party to more effectively represent itself in terms of its transformational mission that it is on. Everything else within context is a sideshow that the PNP is hoping to piggyback on, and that they will, as Chopper would have said, they can keep their base alive. But let us understand that the general population of Jamaica understands the PNP and Mark Golding for who they are. And I do believe that has the Jamaica Labour Party and Team JLP continue to prove itself, Mark Golding will realize that lies and innuendos will not work. The nonsense they are keeping up in Parliament will definitely not work. And Mark Golding as a leader and as an option for Jamaica when it comes to governance will definitely not work. So when you look at all of these factors, and also coupled with the fact that they have not put a single idea on the table that will allow us to look with squinched eyes at the Jamaica Labour Party. In fact, comparatively, everything that Andrew Michael Lawless does from 2016 to now, barring the sideshows and all the things that the opposition will point at him in what you call leader character assassination, as they has done with Edward Siaga and others, it has not worked to date. So there comes a point in time that irrelevance will characterize Mark Golding and the entire 28 that they have on their side.
But what is giving Golding the confidence? Because if you listen to him, he sounds very, very confident, and as a man, like a man who seems 10 points ahead in a poll. What is giving him that confidence?
Look here, there's a thing called fool's paradise, neighbor. You think you are when you know you are not. Mark Golding and the Jamaica and team and the PNP clan, the Orange Brigade, knows very well that the only thing that they can do is project a sense of what you call relevance when they know, in fact, they are very irrelevant. The only thing keeping Mark Golding alive, is trying to put up a brave face to suggest that we are large and in charge. But the fact is, the people that you are appealing to is a dwindling PNP base. Chopper spoke about the base of the PNP, but I tell you, neighbor, based on listening to the people on the ground, yes, there are some PNP sympathies who are talking about Andrew Holness is this and Andrew Holness is that. But I said to them, give me two things that you think that the JLP administration could have done differently or is not doing in the best interest of a progressive agenda for this country. Tell me. They can't find anything. Andrew Holness a thief, Andrew Holness is this, Andrew Holness is that. Him not spend the hurricane money, people who get it now get it. These are the nonsense that has been planted in their head. And because they represent a less than critical thinker, they are not concluding in their mind that these are false narratives being painted or being branded about in order to pull them away from the reality of what is taking place in our country. Neighbor, let us accept this fact. We must continue to promote the transformative agenda of the Jamaica Labour Party. Unless we must call a spade a spade. In other words, we have to get to a point when Mark Golding and his clan speak. We must be willing to say to ourselves, sure, we understand where they are coming from.
But Mr. Domney, I don't get the sense, sir, that the party is as passionate at this point as it ought to be. Is it that you have taken your feet off the gas, that you are settled and comfortable in government? Because I don't get the sense that there is this drive to hold on. The drive to remain in control, in charge of this nation. Look at the type of leadership that has been offered by the opposition to the people of Jamaica. A backing of a new breed, backing of Indiscipline, backing up this order, backing up this respect. This should propel, rile up, encourage, motivate the Jamaica Labour Party. You know, Mr. Dabney, the Jamaica Labour Party was in opposition for 18 and a half years, 18 and a half years, Mr. Dabney. The party has just been in power for about 11 years, in government, 11, although it is in its third term, it's only 11 years, That's the PNP did 18 and a half years. And you have said it, Mr. Dabney, that the idea that the PNP returning to power scares a lot of people.
It is nothing short of going through a tunnel and realizing that the farther you go, the more you're getting us. In other words, if the PNP represents the light at the end of the tunnel, I consider it a smoke screen. The fact is, we have to understand and accept that reality. We cannot and should not allow the PNP to regain the reins of power. That is deleterious to our nation and to the whole issue of nation building. It therefore means, Neighbour, as you are articulating, the Jamaica Labour Party has to also accept that reality. We cannot, not by any measure that is counter to good governance and the old principles of how they conduct themselves. But I do believe that the JLP has to get so riled up. Every member of parliament, every minister, every agency of government must start to reflect a particular mindset in how it projects itself, that we are not ready for the PNP to hold the reins of power, and the government has to start reflecting that.
Well, Mr. Dabney,
let me just quickly say this and then I'll finish. Also, Neighbour, it takes the population, all of us, by what is projected by the party and all of us to accept the fact that we are going to become the ambassadors to maintain the trajectory of change that is taking place in our country. And that is basically what all of us has to do. We have to nullify quickly.
well, Mr. Dabney, and this is you speaking on your behalf, not the party itself. But from your perspective, what will it take for it to be so unbearable, or the straw that breaks the camel's back, for the Jamaica Labour Party that you support and have been a part of for decades to start now mobilize themselves against these attacks? Because I believe the nation, those who speak and don't speak, has started to not just reject the People's National Party, but it has become toxic in the public space regarding this matter. What is it, that thing that will tip the scale for the Jamaica Labour Party to start taking actions in your eyes?
In my eyes, I did say it when I lost the election in 2020. And I am saying this because, I slew through the lens of an ordinary Jamaican. I see through the lens of a household that has felt the agony of surviving the 70s under the PNP, the meltdown since 89 up to, the period of Bruce Golding. I feel those pains. I know what those pain points are. And as such, when I decided to contest in Southern St. Catherine, it was my little effort to derail what was not going right, using Southern St. Catherine as Jamaica. I contested a PNP stalwart, the chairman of the party at that point in time, to derail what I think was not going right in the country of Southern St. Catherine. Sadly, I lost. I also suggested that the 14 caretakers that we had, the party not the government, but the party had to take a more proactive approach in how we empower our bases to give value to the pathways of transformation on which the government was on. I therefore believe that the party has to do more, not the government, but the party has to energize itself to do more for its base, so that we can allow the base in all 63 constituencies to become the ambassadors on the ground who carry the message of the party. That being one grassroots pillar. The second one, we have to ensure that every agency that are mandated to carry out the mission of the administration must be stringently held to a sense of accountability, that they carry out the mandate of the government without fail. You have to weed out the bad eggs in those agencies that are hell-bent on bringing the PNP back to power for their own selfish desires. They must be weeded out. And so I believe that within the next, we have 4 years. I do believe that within the next year or so, we must do that audit from a governance structure perspective to determine which one of these agencies are counterproductive to the objectives of the administration. And until we do this and hold them accountable, allowing the message to resonate at the grassroots, allowing your base to reflect what you want to be reflected. These are some of the things that has to be done in a very passionate and objective way. So the passion with which I speak about the objective of the government, I want the entire base of the party to be speaking in this manner. And the message must be, we are not going to sit down and allow the PNP to gain traction on the ground with their lies and misinformation, because it is deleterious to nation building. That is the passion we have to start to plant on the ground. And that is the passion that every constituency must manifest. The ministers must realize that if you lose this election, you have lost your job. They must become passionate, and they must find time to build their base by whatever means necessary, through effective time management, their ministerial portfolio and their constituency portfolio. And you must also plant the seed, that energy, in every single councillor base across this country. Yeah. And they invariably must plant it within their PDs and all of that. We have to get passionate about the ground.
Are you concerned? We're gonna go back to the other people. And of course, Member Harry, you can chime in anytime you want. Are you concerned, though, Mr. Dobbney, that the opposition leader is choosing to literally endorse the indiscipline in Parliament? I thought last week that Marisa Dalrymple touched the nerve, the soul of the nation, and I felt that somehow the nation would have, examined this moment, not the panacea, but and not the tipping point either, but a moment of reflection, a moment for introspection, and that we would have come out to say, yeah, we've not been behaving too well, both sides of the house. But what I hear from the opposition leader suggests, Mr. Dobbin, that nothing will change. Does it not so concern you that the alternative prime minister is speaking in this way?
I think we have to acknowledge and accept that there's no credible opposition that exists in the now. None.
Oh.
Because where Mark Golan is concerned, he does not even understand, based on the track record of his party, nothing to pull on to say that I'm representing a party that has given value to this country. The party that Mark Golan leads is a party that always sent Jamaica into economic decay, stagnation, low to no growth. That's the party he leads. Now, the only thing that can bring some level of credibility to Mark Golan, they have to go back to the drawing board and look at every single area of governance currently and come with an alternative that appeals to the Jamaican people. I doubt he has the capability of doing that based on the 28 MPs that he has in his corner. Yes, they can support Mark Holding. That we don't have a problem with that. Support your leader. But supporting the leader with what? To where? And by extension, the leader supporting them for what? Because they do not possess the capacity comparatively with the Jamaica Labour Party administration. They do not produce, in other words, they are inexperienced, they do not understand it, and if their behavior is anything to go by, neighbor, then we must understand and conclude, all of us on this platform and all of us, the 300 and odd person listening and more that is on the platform and all the others who are listening, must conclude in the now that Jamaica is a one party, one progressive party country, and that is the Jamaica Labour Party. We have no hope in the BNP. And I tell you also, their base is dwindling. I would urge us, or urge the pollsters to do a poll, a national poll, within another year to show the support for the BNP versus the support for the Jamaica Labour Party. With carefully articulated questions. Do you believe that the government of the day has been leading a transformational mission of this country that is reflecting itself in every corner of the nation? About tourism, health, all of those. And then you comparatively ask, do you believe that the opposition is effectively spending its time in Parliament, or indeed to craft a vision and mission for the people of this country that is superior to what is happening now? Neighbor, this country, Jamaica, can be likened to a business. You can't have an effective CEO and decide to change the CEO for somebody that does not demonstrate the capacity to lead, but because you like him, because he's Mark Holding, because the PNP deserve a chance. Mash down that lie. We must maintain the integrity of leadership in our country. We must maintain that what the Jamaica Labour Party is doing for our country. We must maintain the capacities that exist in the JLP. And we must call a spade a spade. The PNP is personas non grata when it comes to managing this country. In the now, let's see what will happen 1 year from now, 2 years from now. Will they come to their senses? Let's see. Right now, the applications has been issued for leadership in continuum, and the Jamaica Labour Party has won on all counts as it relates to what the Jamaican people is looking for, the people in the diaspora and the international space. There's no place for the People's National Party and Mark Holding. That's my conclusion.
Well, boy, I tell you something. You should get a call from the party tonight, sir. You are fun. You're waxing absolutely brilliant. You gonna, yes.
It's about to touch on something there, and Team Ghana just spared me for a few. I want to throw this out to Chops, right?
Yes.
Because this new breed that Mark Holding has pushed forward has seemed as if they want to say the People's National Party has been revitalized.
Yes.
Now, growing up, I know of the quip that says vim, vigor, and vitality came from one person, one political leader, Edward Seaga. And I want to put it to Chops to say, with the People's National Party's base thinking that they're revitalized, no. That mantra, that quip from Edward Seaga that has served him over 4 decades of building proper institutions throughout his political career. How do you see the Jamaica Labour Party being able to now bring back that vim, vigor, and vitality in executing at a high energy, in the high energy space to encapsulate what the government has been doing and also what they're looking to execute going further?
I'll say thank you for that question, Harry. And to Mr. Dudley, I don't know if I could say it any better. You have laid it out quite eloquently. But just to pick up on what Harry is putting forward here, Harry, you have to bear something in mind, you know, that for the GLP, it is like a good game of cricket. And a team goes down there and makes 350 runs. That's runs on the board. And it doesn't matter how you slice and dice it, it is runs on the board.
Yes.
It's for you to chase and win. And in the case of the two political parties, the Jamaica Labour Party has runs on the board. And what would it take for us to get back that vim, vigor, and vitality that you spoke about? All it needs is a deliberate, coordinated strategy to get the message to the Jamaican people. There are two messages here. There's one message that has been carried by the government of Jamaica, which is to say to the Jamaican people, here's what we are doing. We're building roads. We've launched a new Spark program. We've launched Spark 2. We are now on the main road segment of the Spark program. We're just going to see a lot of main roads getting rehabilitated. We are building out, continue to build out our police force and our security forces overall. We are getting better at managing crime.
Yes.
All of these things, the Jamaica Labour Party, the government has been very good at telling their story to the Jamaican people as to what they have done and continue to do. What is missing, Harry, and what would answer your question is when the government or the political party that forms government creates a strategy to convert what has been done to say to the Jamaican people, this is how what we have done is going to positively impact your lives. Or this is how what we have done have already impacted your lives. It's an easy fix if you ask me. It's two messages. One comes from the government, one comes from the political party. The message coming from government is not there to really and truly get votes. It is there to say, to give an account of your stewardship. The political party, therefore, have a responsibility now to create a strategy that will convert what you have done to how it will impact each individual lives. And not how it will, because it's already impacted lives. So it's a matter of saying, this is how what we have done has helped you already, and this is how what we have done is going to help you going forward. That message, Mr. Dudley, Harry, and other members, has to be deliberate and it has to be strategic. And until we can connect those two, that vigor and vitality that we're talking about is still there with Eddie Siaga. We need to convert that. And that, in my mind, is perhaps the best way to convert that and to get the party. And you notice I mentioned party because, folks, make no mistake about it. There's a difference with the two. And the message cannot be carried by one individual. The government is doing very well. I notice the government has been utilizing each ministry, have been activating their communications unit to tell the story. And if you notice, when they do it, they cannot do it in a way that solicit votes.
Yes.
They have to do it in a candid and open way. And that is why it is very easy, because it's already there. The political party will have to come behind those groups now and pick up all that work and package it nicely. Take it to Jamaican people and say, hey, listen, because we have built a highway from Miami Bay into Kingston, here is how that has affected your lives. And here is how it will continue to be positive to your life going forward. Because we have run the economy so well, which is what the government has been saying. What the party needs to say now is to take that track record of great economic work, the party now needs to take that message and to say, because we have done well with the economy, because we have maintained fiscal discipline, because we have been able to improve Jamaica's image globally, here is how that has affected you positively, and here is how it will affect you positively going forward. That connection must be made in order for us to realize that fourth term. Absolutely.
Thank you, Jonathan. And Mr. Dante. Boss Lady, you have anything weighing on the topic? What do you think about the new regime regarding Mark Golding and this new PNP? Hello, Boss Lady? I'm not sure she's there.
Okay. All right. So we're not sure that Boss Lady, are you hearing us? If not, let's go to Gustav. 9 minutes to 11 o'clock. Mr. Golding is backing the new breed of disrespect, new breed of indiscipline in the parliament, and Mr. Golding has fully backed them, saying that Ms. Dalrymple-Philibert doesn't have any integrity. Well, not integrity, but she doesn't have the moral integrity to speak on the matter because of a matter that Ms. Dalrymple-Philibert was in. As if Mr. Golding himself did not get into matters that we could question. Gustav?
Yes, neighbor. But me support the views of everybody else, neighbor, literally. But here I feel the challenge will come, and that's how I feel. Now, because of two different political movements exist in Jamaica, the opposition always obviously want to replace the ruling government. Now, here we feel the challenge now. You see, because it is through constituencies or by parish, Jamaica develops through constituencies. It is easy for a non-performing PMP MP to not want to connect the people of his constituents to the perks of central government, all the perks that central government comes with that are for the people. Because while the government can do so much more, and do so much and no more from a central government aspect, until it reaches the people on a constituency level, you can't blame that person if you say him not feel it, nor she not feel it. How we get these people to understand now that it is the failure of his or her member of parliament or just non-performance of them MP or them councillor, why them not feel how the government are going good from a central government point of view. And then them now get the chance by sabotaging the people and then spread a false narrative, say they are not getting the backing of the government in regards to helping the people. So when you do that, do all you can from the top, but because your effort get determined how far it go by others who are not on your side, then it's going to be a problem to you. So to me now, you see, a MP reform will kind of help fix things, not completely, but help fix things so the people can really see who are the real monster in the room. Because a true constituencies, parish by parish, Jamaica do well. And if people in some constituencies not experience what central government are do good, largely and mostly because them have a MP will not represent them properly, and it will always be a challenge to the government no matter how you put the message out there. See, because it is not a force mandate where the MPs have to put this out there that this is the latest initiative of the government and link it to them constituency. You see, because it depends upon how they want to do it conveniently, when it suit them or so forth, it will always be a problem to me. And that me see happen in a constituency like one of me inner. So the central government are the whole lead, but in order for the PMP, MP stay relevant. Of course, I'm going to use like some sabotaging people, and then the sabotage make it look real, like say the government are sabotage them. So any misinformation from the government are going to resonate with people like them across all PMP constituency, and then them are going to rile up together and spread the same misinformation and them type of thing. That's what I feel.
Yeah, that's a brilliant point. Let me ask you this, Chops Media. piggybacking on what Gustav is saying. Someone told me that they drove through Spanish Town last week and they felt so ashamed. The Spanish Town has a mayor, he's a PNP mayor. How do you, he's gone. Daphne, you could probably take it. How do you correct that, Daphne? The government is doing level macro, but the micro at the level of the councillors, the level of the mayors, disgraceful. Is that not a problem in Jamaica that we need to address, Mr. Daphne? Why, for example, is Spanish Town looking like that?
Neighbor, Gustav said it effectively, right? The issue of sabotage, depending on who holds the reins of government, is real in constituency. And I use Southern St. Catherine as an example, but yet I focus on that which you mentioned, which is Spanish Town. The mayor in Spanish Town has no interest in giving value to the transformative mission of the Jamaican.
What do you mean he doesn't have any interest?
No, he has no, look here, neighbor. It matters who leads the constituencies. It matters. Because political credibility is a real thing. You have to understand that when you are elected by the people, you are not elected to carry the color of a party.
Yes.
But you are elected to carry out the mission and mandate of the people on both sides of the fence and those who have not decided, to ensure that they have proper roads, to ensure that they have proper lighting, to ensure that their healthcare facilities are effective in fulfilling their needs. It ensures that the whole issue of water, social needs, all of those are carried out.
Yes.
But I will tell you, when I'm on the ground in Southern St. Catherine, the PNP sympathists will say to me that you are the one, your government is in power, and we're not getting anything. Yet, the pronouncement from Parliament speaks to the equity of dispatch of resources to all 63 constituencies.
Yes.
Why then are we not realizing the results of those funding that comes to those PNP constituencies? But you are seeing.
Hold on. So you are saying to me that all 63 members of Parliament are literally getting equal share of the resources available from central government?
Absolutely.
But you don't hear the Labour Party constituencies complaining. Why?
Neighbor.
Question, neighbor. Sorry, Mr. Daphne, a very good question that nobody now ask themselves this daily. We not get paid. The people them not get paid to stay quiet. Drive to the constituency where the JLP them have MP and councillors. And you will see for yourself why the people them not really come out. And even pay them not get the best representation, but when they compare to the others, they might get the best.
Oh my.
Absolutely.
Oh my.
And neighbor, and so I will move a step further where the government has the authority to introduce into each of the 63 constituencies a measuring stick, an opportunity to measure the performance and the value of development that takes place in every one of the 63 constituencies and be able to publicly speak about expectations, because the government has to have the macro objective for every 63 constituencies. What is the government's objective for all 63? It is therefore, once the government allocates for drain cleaning, they allocate for roads and infrastructure, they allocate to each ministry for health service development, tourism, etc. What is it that gives value to the return on investment in these constituencies, regardless of the color of the member of parliament?
Yes.
And that is what I think is missing. It has to be effected at the council level also. Because let me tell you something, neighbor, and I do believe it, that Jamaica is not lacking in resources for transformation.
Absolutely correct.
Because the Jamaica Labour Party has demonstrated that from 2016, 10 years and a little bit, that the amount of things that has taken place in this country based on leadership
Yes.
in a general way, that we must ask the question, what did the PNP or the Orange Brigade did over the last 18 years? It is a question that must be asked.
Yes.
And because we have those empirical evidence and data to suggest the disparity of outcomes based on spending, we must now develop through statin an instrument that must measure the performance of each of these members of parliament. It is not good enough to have the constituency development meeting to say what they have done without a critical assessment of whether or not this is real.
Yes.
And so I think the Jamaica Labour Party stands at a point where it needs to effect this in each constituency and show to the people that we are not just about leading or managing. We are about giving you what you would want to call the best return on the investment of your tax dollar.
Them know it has value for money. In a freedom language, Mr. Dabney, them know it has value for money.
That is correct. Value for money is what has to happen. And so it is what you call governance improvements in continuum. The government must find a way to say to the people, I have given X amount to your JLP and your PNP member of parliament. We are now going to look in a very critical and objective way, not to embarrass anybody, because the transition from what's taking place now going to be painful for some. But so be it. But we must, if we're talking about a new breed of politicians and a new breed of accountability,
Yes. That new breed.
the new breed must reflect a system that is based on standards, and every politician must go in it to be paid a salary, and yes, they are handsomely paid, and that was what you call the 9-day term. But at the end of the day, I do believe that based on the being deprived of an increase for so much years, I want to say I am one of those who thinks the politician merits that increase. But now that the Jamaican people have started talking about the increase, let us say to you that you have gotten it. Now it is your time to give the people value for money.
Yes.
You get $70 million who want to see what you do with it. And
That is that is true.
Spend it on train cleaning.
Yes.
Don't tell you that you do this and you do that, but you go comparatively in one constituency you get hex the same amount as you get, and you see a vast contrast between the transformation. Ask Anthony Hilton, Angela Brown Burke, two in question. What have they done with the resources that has been given to them to transfer? You know, so between you, nearby one run one against one of them, you know.
You serious about that, sir?
Look here, I'm serious.
Mr. Dabney, you will not be successful until
I understand
no,
what you're
tell you why, Mr.
talking about.
Dabney. Now, because you're not a good candidate, Mr. Dabney. You see, until Mr. Dabney, people like you and the gentleman from Manchester here so will lose. Amy and Young.
Absolutely.
Not because he's not a good candidate. The people are not taught how to demand accountability because the system not demand standard. But yet we are demand standard, so we don't have a structured framework. We demand standard and accountability, but we demand it.
Absolutely.
Is it through a reform, a MP reform, people can get to measure his or her MP based on performance after proposal from a manifesto. And when he or she falls short, he or she must tell to the people through Parliament what caused them to never fulfill the obligations, because if a government got the same place in the Parliament to talk, why reason why they could allocate this money to this MP at the time, rather than the MP go tell a lie. So the people might get a real-time data as to who are the regional and who are the non-performer. But we have to get an MP reform, or else we're going to continue to have good people like you, Mr. Damian Young, and look on from the side, because the people don't know what to expect, so they don't know what to expect.
Absolutely. And I think what we should come out of this program with Neighbour is MP performance reform. I just wanted to put the word performance reform within context, because at the end of the day, until we have an indexation of performance based on resources that is given to them, we are going to be fooling the people all the time.
That's why we don't have a dead right solely today. That's why Portland don't have Anne-Marie Vaz, because the people don't know who did actually represent them. It's like the lady them operate off our script, say, yo, we must get this done. Solely them operate off our script and say, yo, we can get this done. But the people them never know standard, because there's not a structured standard form where say, yo, this them to carry out as a mandate as a MP. So therefore they never know when they might get true representation, because structurally layout formally.
Absolutely.
Well, think about this while you're at it, dear gentlemen, because you are 100% correct. And that's why it really strengthens my point, Mr. Dobney, where it is important for the political party itself to be more political, if you ask me, because that which you guys are requesting to be done by the government, in other words, telling the Jamaican people that all 63 members of parliament would have gotten equal share of the resources. The government has been doing very well in establishing that point, in saying it to the Jamaican people. Yeah? What the government is not able to do, and what the political party has to now create a framework to get it done, is to be the not just, I wouldn't even call it a watchdog, because you don't want to put the Jamaica Labour Party in an opposition position. However, they have a role to play in holding the opposition members of parliament accountable.
Yes.
For example, what the party should have and could have been doing is exactly what you are saying. Look at what the spend is overall. Break it out from a political standpoint. Because the objective here, gentlemen, doesn't matter how nice you want to word it about being the MP for everybody and you're elected to serve all. It doesn't matter how we want to slice that or dice it. The fact of the matter is that we ought to play politics with whatever the achievements are. Because it is politics that give us the ability to be elected. And the minute you drive that vehicle called politics to Garden House, and you step out of it, and you go in and you now jump into this new Land Cruiser called governance, and you forget that deportee, what the popular car there, the little Voxy, that took you into parliament.
It's a AD wagon, sir.
Yes, you step out of the AD wagon
the Garden and the Prado.
Successful.
Yeah.
And you jump into the Prado of governance.
Yeah.
And you totally forget. and what is funny,
Fascinating stuff.
When an election,
so true.
An election comes around,
solid Chops media. Hold on, Chops media. You sure that you're going to have a place in the party?
I will always
but by the way, the party is a Democratic Party. Yeah, but you are a party.
Anybody knows me, I am the conscience of the party.
Yes. That you make an excellent point there. It's an excellent point. It's a very good point. Yeah. Very good point.
That car, the car that took you to party.
Yes.
And you leave it outside Garden House, and you jump in your Prado, and you're gone all over Jamaica. And then 4 years' time, listen to me carefully, because this is very important. 4 years' time,
yes,
when you are no longer required to drive that Prado, and you want to maintain that Prado,
yes,
and you cannot maintain that Prado without the electorate.
Yes.
Then you say, you know what? Let me step up outside here and get it back into this AD wagon. But
thank you.
It can't when you go to the AD wagon, because you did not serve in
the
AD wagon, sir. Because you did not pour a little oil in there, sir. Because you did not crank up the engine every now and then to keep it activated. When you go back there 4 years from now and you crank up the AD wagon and it starts to stutter,
yes,
and it stutter and it can't move, then you start to blame everybody else. But you forget that the important ingredient that you were supposed to
Chops and drink. My chops and drink for me. Yes.
Your big Prado.
Yes.
You get to the AD wagon, they're right outside of God knows how we.
What a fascinating point. But Chuck Miller, that is why some of our better MPs, those who are not in strong garrisons constituencies, continue to win.
Yes.
Yeah, somebody like J.C. Hutchinson. Yeah, it's a strong Labour seat,
Yes.
but it could be considered a marginal too. He had to work hard.
Listen, let me tell you something. You have to stay connected to your people. You can never ever leave that AD wagon outside. Every month, every week, you must go there and crank up the engine and make sure it's clean, make sure it is in working condition. Because guess what? 4 years from now, you're going to need it again.
Fascinating truth.
Make no mistake about it, you know.
Oh,
it's
boy.
the AD wagon that gave you the product.
Producer, clip out this here and post it for me. It's so true. It's so true. Absolutely correct.
Let me tell you why Mr. Chuck is right.
Yeah, hold on, Gustav. Let me take a time signal here. It's actually 11 minutes after 11 o'clock, and let's see if we can do this up until 11:30 for the listeners. It's a fascinating. We have to give Chaps a round of applause, man. It's it's great. It's great. Mr. Dabney?
Yes.
Hold on. He's dead right, not true?
Absolutely. You see, political representation at the top is seasonal, you know. If you don't maintain the ground, then, or the legs of the chair that you occupy, then you're going to try to sit down and realize there's no chair. So Chops is on point, and the whole issue of reform, as it's somebody saying that the whole issue of council reform, MP reform, the entire political representation at the council level and at the MP level has to be reformed. Because when you become the councillor, you have to realize that you are representing a microcosm en bloc of the people that you represent. And if you forget them and indeed lose the culture of the ground, then you are going to come back like somebody who went away for a year or 2 years and then forget your address. The fact is, we have to understand that what takes you there, you must continue to maintain it and must continue to give value to it. You find sometimes persons go to a constituency, they lose and they run. But yet when election time come again, you're going back to the people. When the truth and in fact, you need to stay there to maintain that common touch with the people. And by extension, if you're asked to give value to the needs of those people, you're able to effectively articulate it. Some of the members of parliament do not understand their constituency. They win by mere chance, and sometimes they behave as if to say, it's your birthright. But the people are going to allow you to understand what is really right when you really want to them. And then, neighbor, that's why some of them have to work so hard to be re-elected.
Yeah, I heard Miss Patricia Duncan Sutherland saying how she was hurt by the loss. What about you, Mr. Dobney? Did you take it that hard?
Neighbor, giving your all to political campaign and coming out less than first past the post is really a hard pill to swallow. But there's also a bigger picture. There is a lot of learning that takes place. You have to understand the culture of your people. You have to understand the challenges that you will face and how you're able to overcome those challenges. There's one individual who we were having a conversation, and you have to also have the banana peel moment. You have to have the points. You have to also understand that there are points within your campaign as a good footballer. You have to even be prepared to foul somebody at some point in time, whatever that is within context. But the logics of it, losing an election is not a good feeling.
All right. So did you cry? Did you cry on election night?
Neighbour, big man no cry, man. That's what
Well, I wouldn't teach that to my sons if they want to ball the ball.
Neighbour, I'll trouble me, man. Then tears now be run, man. Neighbour,
if it's a sense of disappointment. Yes.
I had my children rooting for me. I had constituents rooting for me. I have my own self rooting for me.
Yes.
And based on my benchmarking of the lack of representation, the hills in the constituencies, those things that should have been done over 32 years and were not done, I felt that the stewardship of the Jamaica Labour Party was a good platform on which I could campaign. I am here
Yes.
to bring to you the transformative mission of the Jamaica Labour Party.
Yes.
One of the things which I used to say to them is that there is 3 things that I want to say to you. I want to say to you, 1, I am the candidate representing the Jamaica Labour Party. 2, I want to start the conversation with you. And 3, I want to leave 2 numbers so that the conversation can continue. Maybe not in exact term, but it was what you call a 2 minutes direct contact with the people. And I would have a card to give to them as I move along. And truth be told, I also believe that when I said to them that I am here to bring the transformative mission of the Jamaica Labour Party to Southern St. Catherine, it was a significant part of it. And when I said I have 2 numbers to give them, I showed them the V sign, 2 numbers that I have to leave with you. And 3, yes, this is the 3rd one, in order for the Jamaica Labour Party, for me to seek your support for the Jamaica Labour Party to get the 3rd
Yes.
term. So that was yes. So the 1, I am the candidate. I have 2 numbers to give to you, which was the V sign, 2 numbers. And I also want your support in order to give the 3rd term to the Jamaica Labour Party. That's what which I campaigned on.
Yeah, and you achieved a couple of them, because your party did win.
Of course.
Yeah. Well, hold on. Let me bring in member Harry. You have a question there?
Yes, Neighbour. I was just looking in terms of, when we look at the type of governance from local government and that performance index that we're calling for, and I want to put it to CHOP specifically, to try and give us a juxtaposition as to the representation we see in local government from the former capital, Spanish Town, and also when you look at Montego Bay, those 2 local government per se, our parish councils are opposite. So in Montego Bay, it's a Jamaica Labour Party mayor, and in Spanish Town, we have a People's National Party mayor. These municipalities do get heavy resources, but we look at the development or the lack thereof for these 2 cities. Walk me through CHOPs in terms of how do we get Spanish Town from being the lost city to mimicking something from the leadership of the mayor in Montego Bay. How do we get Spanish Town back to that level, to the glory days, if we want to put it?
A very, very good question. Very good question. And perhaps the easy fix to that is to quickly move to separate Portmore from Spanish Town or from St. Catherine in terms of the new parish, because what that will do, it will remove the duplication of council seats, and then that would free up and make it more competitive in Spanish Town, which would give the Jamaica Labour Party an advantage in taking home the council. And if they do, then you will have a synergy with central government, because make no mistake about it, unless you're going to have what we talk about all the time, but it is never the reality, where persons are elected, but they are elected to represent the people and not their political party.
Wow.
In the case of the PNP, it is the PNP first, and then anything else after. So when you have that sort of mentality in the politics, especially at the local government level, you will never get that synergy whenever the political party is not the one that represents the PNP. Because if it is, that they were acting.
Chops is breaking up a
Which
bit.
is representing the people. If they were doing that consistently, then you would have, you would not require a synergy between local government and central government for us to get real representation. So what you find in places like Spanish Town, because the local government there is representing the PNP, they're not representing the party. And the same thing happened in Westmoreland. For example, monies are allocated to the municipal corporation to do certain things within the divisions. Yeah? And they refuse to do it because if they do, it is going to have a positive outlook on the government overall. And because they're more wedded to their political dogma, they refuse to execute those plans, because executing those plans is going to make the government look good. So when you see places like Spanish Town is suffering, and it's not looking clean, it's not doing what Vernon in Montego Bay is doing, it's one simple reason. It's because they are not in sync with the government. A lot of times where you have problems in these municipal corporations, is because they do not want.
So we are the systems of accountability, Chops Media, because what you are saying here is quite disappointing. That if parish councils are not represented by the governments in power, then those parishes are going to suffer. Is that really how we run the politics?
Yes, I'm afraid it's a fact. It happened less under the JLP. For example, if the PNP were in office and the JLP gets resources, they would not.
Yeah, I remember when Siaga won that local government elections. That remember Desmond McKenzie. McKenzie was not mayor under a JLP administration, was he?
No.
Huh?
No.
Yes, but he emerged as one of the hallmarks of mayors in Jamaica. I remember Dr. Raymond noticed.
Yes, because those persons are about performance, and that's the difference between the two. When one is wedded to their political dogma and the other is wedded to country, then it is clear as day. One is wedded, and the PNP, they are political animals. They will tell you, when you speak to comrades in the halls, they will tell you, it's party first, then family, then country.
And also, Chaff, they are political cowards as well. PNP are political cowards, neighbor. In other words, the PNP is not brave enough to stand in front of the Jamaican people and admit to the Jamaican people when the government scores merit and inform them as to how the government actually got it right for them as a people and still remain relevant. That's political cowardness. You must be brave enough and have ideas enough to be able to give credit and bring forth worthy proposals that people can think of you as an alternative. You don't have to always be discrediting.
Have you listened to Juliet Chang in Westmoreland? I think she's she is in Westmoreland. I'm trying to remember the name of her division. Have you listened to her within the last 48 hours? She had a video there. And I found it very interesting. It's very simple, but I don't know if people read it the way I'm reading it.
What the government think them?
They made an appeal for persons to come to a church hall because Ministry of Labour will be here and the Ministry of Labour will be doing X and will be doing Y and will be doing Z. Remember, this is somebody who came from the halls of the PNP. Go back and check her record for the last 2 years or a year and a half ago and see if she had any such video while she was representing the PNP. And I'm dead ass serious. Go and check it. You will not find it. And it's not because she's a bad person, but it's because while she's a member of the PNP, she had to stay true to PNP.
Oh my God.
ever.
Oh my God.
Never. But jobs. Absolutely.
Because I want to own it in, you see, because there's such vast difference in the governance in terms of one parish council compared to the other. Because make no mistake, Spanish Town have similar, if not more, earning value for Jamaica, just as Montego Bay, right? Just in a different way. And when I look at $6 billion projects being put down on the Brunswick, I see another $2 billion coming in. I see the hospital. I see entrepreneurs buildings revitalized. I count just by the eye test and knowing the value of what is there easily over the last decade in just Spanish Town, close to $100 billion of investment there.
Right.
And what you're saying to me now is that the parish council, they're being highly politically PMP, will have a negative impact on those investments that should improve the lives of Jamaica. But in that case, the local government minister is a Jamaican Labour Party minister. So how?
Yes.
What has been happening there? Why aren't we holding them accountable? Because make no mistake, Spanish Town still have that level of earning capacity to beat almost any other area in the island currently. But it's going to waste.
Well,
why not hold accountable knowing that the minister is a Jamaican Labour Party person?
All right. So holding a councillor overall accountable is a difficult task.
The mayors.
It is difficult, and let me tell you why. Because there's not a system in place to hold them accountable. What central government does as part of their holding them accountable is to circumvent them, work around them. So one of the things that gave rise to NARA, one of the pillars that gave rise to NARA is the government realizing that if you continue on the same path where local government is required to give approval and assist in the smooth flowing of projects, it will never get done in some of the PNP constituencies, because we have seen, we have several examples of PNP mayors and municipal corporations refuse to approve central government projects because they believe that once you do so, it's going to make the government looks good. And it happens in Manchester, it happens in Westmoreland, it happens in Spanish Town. Spanish Town is perhaps one of the to occur. Whenever central government put funding through to create something in there, they will do all, even roads, general roads, right? So what the government does as part of their accountability framework is to really and truly circumvent the municipality and go ahead and do the project as a national project. Because if you allow them any access at all, they are not going to look at the country and how this project is going to benefit the country.
Which is why Mayor Swaby chops. Which is why Mayor Swaby chops in the country. Which is why Mayor Swaby the other day have a problem with the one road authority that Nesta Morgan is proposing. They're getting uncomfortable already, neighbor. Just a slight little twitch, just a little rain farm, and it is starting to expose them.
Anything that takes away their ability to
sabotage
their political ploy and to sabotage the system. Any opportunity, anytime the government does that, they get their whole things in a bunch. So that's the only thing I have seen, Harry. I don't see. You can highlight it, and we have been. Think about what what local government minister Desmond McKenzie has said about the mayor in Lucy, about the mayor in Westmoreland. Think about it. He have said it many times that look, I gave you money, I allocate this amount of money for you to build the market. No, you tell me now. Just make it make sense for me. Why is it that central government would send money to a municipal corporation and say, hey, build a market for the people, and you don't build it? Just give me one reason. Money, there is the money to do it. The money to do it. You have the land, you have all the approval come through your office. and the government gave you the money and said, build this, and you don't. The only reason why they did not do it, because if they did, it would have given the JP government overall some.
Well, it's a great.
Folly make the news. Folly make the news over things that make sense. Because look what should be a public discussion. But folly have been the discussions across Jamaica. Now, Julian Chang, while being the councillor for the PMP in that division, would have made it clear to John public, say she's not getting the cooperation of our fellow PMP, MP, and this is deliberate because what she wants him to come aboard to partner with will only shine light on the government, really and truly, and also the fact that she utilize the services available for the people, which she use up as a councillor. So the councillor, other than personal reasons, are doing it politically. Why they make no conversation to people? And folly, things will happen are no conversation, but things will not happen are conversation to them. Images in front of them no matter, but words presented to them matter. I wonder why them tend to reason around reality and reason with folly or reason upon folly. That should be something nobody now asks why not the media house them not follow up, why nobody now asks him why she not getting the support where she gets from him as the MP. Nobody now quizzing on that.
A big part of the reason why, and we just said it just now, Gustav. One of the reasons why Julian Chang followed a grace with the PNP is because she was not one of those persons who follow the PNP's line. Remember, if you look at all the PNP municipal corporations, you will never see them out there presenting, cutting ribbons, and saying to the Jamaican people that we've achieved this, we have done this, central government sent this money and we build this. You have never heard that from them. While, if you take a good look at Julian Chang, and if you look at Julian Chang in the 2 years coming up, you would see that she was one of the persons who, she was very busy out there, doing a lot of work, getting a lot of stuff done, and she was doing it across party lines. All of those stuff was not a part of the PNP matchup. PNP is the most dogmatic political group I know. So to answer you, Harry, I don't see a clear mechanism of accountability that the minister can really implement. But I know one of the things that I have noticed that he has done on several accounts is to circumvent the bad leadership of the PNP Municipal Corporation and go in and do those projects as a national project or do them based on using the members of parliament. For example, if it's a municipal road, you just have NWA doing the road as opposed to even the Spark program, the Spark program was an example of government, central government, that is taking away from those persons. I had to do it overall because you don't want it to look bad. But the truth is, it was those underperforming municipalities that caused us to go with a Spark program that captures local government roads and take them under the national banner because they were not performing. And I'm talking specifically to the PNP ones. They're not performing. They don't want us to look good because they are more about the politics than actually helping the Jamaican people.
Okay, that's where we're going to have to leave this tonight.
The Ministry of Youth and Culture,
yes,
where Marisa Morrison a part of too. All right, a lot of Jamaicans out there, them keep entertainment event. You didn't know that the government listen to the cry of the Jamaican people. Them ask for an extension for the dance permit them. But because the government knows that certain areas unique to certain challenges, the government recently allowed the people can apply the extension of them events. Like if you go 2 o'clock, then can apply if you go beyond 2 and so forth. These are things that the MP them now can't go tell the people them, but when they dance them lock off 2 o'clock, everybody cuss the government and tell the people them say what them vote for. But the same government where them accuse the people them for also have alternative options where they can utilize. How much people in Jamaica know that right now? A little bit of people neighbor. How much people keep dancing in Jamaica? Whole heap. How much of them dance like half 2 o'clock and cuss? All of them cuss. But yet the government provide opportunity for them can apply for extension. These are the information that make it look like the government now reach the people. These are events that put money in them people in pocket. Why the MPs and the PMP and council them now bring this information to the people and on the ground and help them apply for these type of things where help them. You understand me? Simple things like these goes a far way, neighbor. But I just say go still.
Well, thank you so much, Gustav. And Mr. Dobney?
Yes, neighbor. I
Gotta run.
want to
So, final thoughts?
Yes. My final thoughts on this is that, and if I must get anything out of tonight, if government is expecting to be effective on the ground, it has to retool GIS so that the information can reach the ground in real time. The MP councillors, the whole issue of flow of information from top to bottom has to be effectively looked at. And by extension, the people must feel the energy of the transformative mission of the government and be able to articulate that if my dance is locked off, it's not because the government wants it to be locked off, but it's because somebody is victimizing somebody because we do not want the government to look good. The government must endeavor to look good because I believe that the government means good and wants good for the people on the ground, but the objective is being threatened or indeed derailed by those who are anti-government, and that is something that must be fixed.
Even the water amnesty, the NWC amnesty, a lot of PMP, MPs and councillors never tell the people about it. Thank God for the few of them here on the local radio station them because they have to hear it. But what about the people when they get a chance to listen to it on the radio and hear it on the TV announced? Where the PMP, MP and councillor them there for the people them utilize it and them thing there, and them type of thing that the people them now get for the central government now reach them. But because of how the structure set, and that's why we are called for immediate reform when it comes to MPs and councillor neighbor. Respect.
Have a good night.
Definitely.
Final word goes to you, Chops.
It is what it is.
Yeah, again, another informative session, Sir Dobney. It's always good to share the platform with persons like yourself and others. You've always been very clear and consistent in your expectation of government. Thank you again, neighbor,
yes, ma'am,
for the opportunity to present here. I just want to say, there's work to be done. And regardless of what we're saying, we are contributing and doing our part in making sure that the information is getting to people. I know that from time to time, we would look at some of the issues, but I think a vast majority of the time here, we focus on solutions, Harry. And I think that, we should continue on that path. The government, the political party, as I've said before, really needs to ramp up its action in terms of connecting the macro and the micro, or connecting what they have done to how it's going to impact the lives of Jamaican. I will always stay true to that, and I believe that once that strategy is carved out and implemented, a fourth term for the Jamaica Labour Party will be secured. But if we allow the propaganda mill to develop like a boulder coming down a hill, it will reach a point where you cannot stop it anymore. So I think the quicker we get this thing going, I think we spoke yesterday, neighbor, real quick, just before I wrap. We spoke a couple of days ago about the ability for us to really take on this campaign about the good things about Jamaica.
Uh-huh.
For example, the reduction in crime, and also the Jamaica being the most peaceful in the world.
Yeah.
And we have seen a lot of clips out there now, properly produced pieces on those issues, and they're out there in circulation.
Oh, yes.
Not saying that it is because of the discussion here, but it means that we are in sync.
Great mind
what
thinks
is
alike, man.
expected.
Great mind thinks alike.
Let's leave it at great minds think alike.
Yes,
So
yeah.
we've seen a lot of that, and that's what we want.
Absolutely.
When we're here agitating, all we want is for these
Yeah,
things.
and
to
make no mistake about it, you know, chaps. Jamaica is a small country, and people who you don't think are listening to you, they are listening. There may be people listening to our program right now that are in very high places in the party and in Jamaica, and it's a small country. I mean, everywhere I go in Jamaica today, I hear neighbor. I went to buy two party, and a lady said, "Oh my God, but it's a neighbor here." So people are listening. People are listening.
People are, and I want to comment you on it. You know, I want to comment you on it. It's
comment us, because you guys are the ones that come here tonight to make the night after night to make the discussions what they are. But the point of the matter is that people are listening, and that's why we are here to the brain is not in one head, chops.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that is why even sometimes when I hear you put forward certain suggestions, they are not criticisms. You're not bashing anybody, not bashing any party, not bashing anybody. What it is you are thinking is that, hey, you are basically giving advice out loud.
And the thing is, you know, I noticed my good friend Protected, my brother Protected, is saying that, boy, how come you can say it and I can't? But you know, there's a difference in it's not what we say, it's how we say it.
Well,
and I think there's a little difference. There's a slight difference, an importantly slight difference there between myself and Protected.
He has a very well respected audience too. You know, a lot of people listen to him.
Oh yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
But he was just questioning in the comment section a while ago. But chaps, you can say that, but I can't.
But of course he can. No man, he can, and he has.
But the thing is, I was using an analogy. To present a scenario.
Yeah.
If it was Protected, then he would be saying, John, Tom, and Harry.
Yeah.
You're being politically correct, neighbor. You're being very diplomatic and politically correct. I do think the message reaches the way he said and the way you said combined to project an effective message.
Yeah.
They're listening. Yes. They're hearing.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? Yes.
Absolutely. Well, thank you.
And also naming a neighbor.
Say what?
You are becoming also naming.
Well, and you know, sir, I didn't set out for that, and I can tell you, it don't make me feel.
Absolutely. Well, you have to just continue to.
You know, sir, I was over in Trelawney. Yesterday, and a man came up to me and shook my hand and said, "Neighbor, you know, say I watch you every night." So I say, "Me?" I say, "Yes, sir." Trelawney. Hi to my friends over there in Trelawney. Great to have you, brother. I forget your name.
Alex, another invitation to you again. I tell you, whenever you're ready to come and take a look at
the Cornwall Regional.
Yes.
Well, yeah. My producer is going to be in Jamaica, so we're going to be coming together.
Yeah, man.
As soon as she gets here, and we'll take the cameras.
Yeah, man, and take Sir Dabney with you because he has not been on this side of town.
Dabney, that's an open invitation for you to join us in Montego Bay for a live broadcast.
Something, Neighbor. Because Caroline is coming, I cannot miss it for anything.
No, now that you have said that, I will not carry you at all. Not carrying you.
and Harry is there too.
Yes. Not carrying you at all, Dabney. Behave yourself. Yes. Great night to you, everybody. Take care. Catch you tomorrow. All right. Listeners on YouTube, that's it for us tonight. We're gonna have to run you here. We came on at 9 o'clock and we're at 15 minutes to 12 o'clock right now. So take care of yourselves and we'll catch you tomorrow. Okay, YouTube, Patreon, and X. Catch you tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye.